timeline. Oh my god.
Remember once I was lost. But then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Remember when I was lost. Then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Yeah.
Had to make some changes in my life. Abraham, he really did it right. Showed me how I'm supposed to live my life. Live it right, yeah. Bury my body in scripture when you sum up my life. When it come down to the scripture, give it all of my life. I done been lost in a trap house with a table full of white. Now I be wearing white linen, I be glowing at night. Now I'm attracting the women who be praying hard at night. I am considered an Abraham, need a Sarah on my side. We can go have us an Isaac or a Jacob, keep the bloodline lit. Prophetical bloodline, tap into supreme lineage. That's what's up. Most I say he'll never leave us stuck. Yeah, Father, right now we need you in a rush. Yeah, resurrect our body from the dust.
Remember once I was lost. But then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Remember when I was lost. Then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Yeah.
I had to make some changes in my life. Abraham, he really did it right. Show me how I'm supposed to live my life. Live it right, yeah. Abraham, my father, my body got his blood. That mean forever, my children got his blood. That mean forever, King David be my blood. We shine forever, my people be the blood. We them people with salvation in our blood. When we eat our meat, we separate it from the blood. Grew up as a Christian on first Sunday, drink blood. That's abomination, that was never for us. Came to America out of our element. They came up killing us, cover our melanin. They know inside really we got the fire. Erase our history, this is a punishment. That's why I keep singing with melody. My job gotta get in your soul. Abraham, he done gave us the recipe. Study him, let it get in your soul.
Remember once I was lost. But then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Remember when I was lost. Then you found me again. Had so much love in your arms. Said you was Abraham's friend. Yeah.
I had to make some changes in my life. Abraham, he really did it right. Show me how I'm supposed to live my life. Live it right, yeah.
Queen, you may have never heard it this way before. I'm just asking that you act like you never heard nothing before and open up your mind to me. Journey with me. Go into my innermost, deepest feelings.
I need you to feel it.
I need you to feel it.
Need you to feel my spirit.
Need you to feel my spirit.
I can't hide my feelings.
I can't hide my feelings.
Need you to feel my spirit.
Need you to feel my spirit.
Yeah.
Wanna study my scripture with you. Think of you when I enter the booth. Yahweh, he gave me the juice. My mind ain't like regular dudes. You know I'm equipped with the jewelry. I'm not talking about diamonds, but mentally. I'll open your mind and do surgery. Open your Bible, you heard me. Just read my name and study prophecy. Let's book of the Old Testament. Still I represent futuristic with the Torah flow. My mind filled with a lot of gold. Diamonds and ruby, precious sapphire, can't forget the onyx. Fell in love with eating scripture. Queen, come and take this journey with me. I need you to feel it. Need you to feel my spirit. Need you to feel my spirit. I can't hide my feelings. I can't hide my feelings. Need you to feel my spirit. Oh, need you to feel my spirit. Yeah. Let's read until we get closer. Study, I teach you the culture. Focus, I teach you about Moses. God said my people the chosen. Came over here on a slave ship. South Carolina, you can find my blood, yeah. Mississippi, find my blood, yeah. This is more than I dreamed. Let me take you to Genesis, show you that. Let me take you to 15 and show you that. I'm like, why would you argue that? Yeah, we living it, that's a fact. No more Camelback. We so far from our home, and I miss home. I need you to feel it. Need you to feel my spirit. Need you to feel my spirit. I can't hide my feelings. I can't hide my feelings. Need you to feel my spirit. Need you to feel my spirit. Yeah, what a blessing. God gave my people many lessons. Whoa, blessing. Gave no other people the lesson. No, what a blessing. God came and gave my people lessons. Whoa, lesson. Listen, classes in session. Yeah. We threw the Red Sea, Moses went up and got it. Look in the Quran, David said we got it. Look in the Bible, go and read when we got it. Up on Mount Sinai, we got it. All the same matter, no. We really were more than gold. We had Solomon on the throne. Solomon never had a baby son by Queen Sheba. Ark of the Covenant, not even in Ethiopia either. That belonged to the Levites. I had locks like a Nazarite. I could show the roster supreme light. Yeah, I'm here with the update. Now Solomon, but my mind great. Break scripture down like a brick of gray. What a blessing. God gave my people many lessons. Whoa, blessing. Gave no other people the lesson. No, what a blessing. God came and gave my people lessons. Whoa, lesson. Listen, classes in session. Yeah. It's been a long time since we came from the east. 400 years, look, we done slept with the beast. 400 years, look, we done mingled the seed. Our bloodline from a different part of the tree. You can see Isaac all in me. My skin dark, skin hair like a sheep. I am David, I play harp on beats. My ancestors, we still run the streets. Everybody want our culture, everybody want to go read about Moses. We them people, it's all in our calling. I had to come to boldest, most I made Malachi the coldest. I'm on tour, yeah I spit it coldest. My bloodline ferocious, yeah. What a blessing. God gave my people many lessons. Whoa, blessing. Gave no other people the lesson. No, what a blessing. God came and gave my people lessons. Whoa, lesson. Listen, classes in session. Yeah.
right. You're right.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome to the Duty of Man podcast, brought to you by the Secret Place of the Most High in Psalmist Studios. And today we have on a very special guest. He's actually going to be one of the hosts for the Duty of Man podcast, along with Morey Zerubbabel Yisrael. So today y'all are in for a treat. Go ahead and shoot this link out to your family and friends, Facebook, various different social media sites. And it's been a while since we actually been on the podcast. So we're delighted to be back at it. And we're going to be getting back in motion. We had to get some things in order. But today we're going to be talking, like I said, I have my beloved elder with us, and he's a long-standing member of the House of Israel community here in Cincinnati. And he's one of my favorite elders in the community. And I look up to this man. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, and that's why we invited him on to the show. And like I said, he's been a long-standing member of the House of Israel for nearly 40 years. And he's also a teacher at the House of Israel, and he was formerly a teacher at the House of Yehuda as well. So he's very versed and well versed in the word of the Almighty and also life. He is an elder, so I want y'all to give him y'all undivided attention, and I'm going to allow him to say kind of introduce himself as well, or give a few words before we dive into some of the questions.
Shalom. I'm just Yimuel to those who know me. And titles are not really a big thing for myself, although I am an elder and been long-standing with the House of Israel for some decades. I'm honored to be on the podcast and be able to talk about some things that I know about.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times we just don't consider because we be anxious to jump into this or anxious to jump into that. And today we're going to talk about relationships and marriage.
Okay.
And we want to try and talk about some things that a lot of times people don't consider.
That's right.
I know guys, we're more or less visual. And you were just saying that a second ago, and that's true. We're more or less visual. Yeah. And we tend to want to find someone as a mate that we consider to be beautiful. But outside appearances don't mean anything because beauty comes from within.
That's right.
And a lot of times, if we don't take time to get to know an individual, we'll end up regretting what we end up with. It don't always turn out the way we would like to.
That's right.
So we just want to give some wisdom today. That's all. Give the people something to consider.
Beautiful.
And for all those beautiful relationships that have been long-lasting for a long time, praise the Almighty for it.
Praise.
Hallelujah.
Praise y'all. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, once again, we definitely delighted to have you on. And as we begin talking about the topic, I would like to ask you a question. And what is the wisest way for a young Hebrew man or a young quote-unquote black man or to go about finding his wife? What's some of the criteria that you think a woman should have? What's the criteria you think he should have before, he go and look for his wife? And what point in his life should he be at before he should even start looking for a wife or quote unquote that significant other?
Well, he should at least be at the point to where he has his finances in order. He should be at the point to where he has maybe a career or he has his work record established. It would be nice if he had a home. And we've talked about those things before. I had a home before I got married to the wife that I'm with. I didn't have a garden. My wife, she's the one who gets out there and gets her hands dirty and whatnot. Matter of fact, that's her sanctuary out there.
Really?
So I'm not always the one who want to be out there, nor do I think she want me involved unless there's something that I need to do. Now, of course, I'll cut the grass and keep everything right or whatnot.
So you got a garden and stuff like that?
Yeah, most definitely. And during the warmer months, not only do we grow food out there, but she has a variety of different flowers
all the time, and would generally bring fresh flowers in often. So we get together. We've grown everything out there from big sunflower seeds. Had sunflower things go higher than the gutters on the house. Grown watermelon, corn, all kinds of things you can think of has been grown out there. Green beans, yellow beans, tomatoes, zucchinis, cabbage, greens, all kinds of food out there. She even put down a peach tree.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got a little fish pond back there in the back that I just dug the hole and she did the rest.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. So you got a blessing on your
I
hands.
definitely got a blessing.
A lot of
definitely
women
got a
nowadays
blessing.
they ain't trying to get their hands dirty and their nails dirty like that.
But see, one of the qualifications that I think that a man should look for first in a woman is her spirituality. First and foremost. See, we, like I say, men tend to be more visual.
That's right.
And that's not the scriptures say that beauty is vain. And the bottom line is, as we get, I'm not that handsome young man that I used to be. You know, so our appearances over a period of time will change, but what's on the inside, that's what really counts.
Yes, sir.
Because if a person is good at heart, so to speak, that's gonna remain. That's gonna remain.
Gotta say that.
You know, over the years, when I was actually dating, and I would no longer be with that individual, people would say, "Man, what happened to her? She was beautiful." And not to be funny or anything, but I would respond like, "Was she?"
Wow.
And the reason I had to respond that way is because a person might have an outward appearance that we might consider to be beautiful, but they might open up their mouth and bones just start falling out.
Gotta say that. I done ran into that so many times.
You see, and looking for a relationship, you have to have both parties. That's the male and the female that wants to be right. Not trying to send a representative, you know, during the dating process, during the meeting process. But we have to be real. And the Almighty knows if we're faking it. You see, so if we're faking it, that means we're trying to be deceptive. That means we have an ulterior motive. And we have to have certain conversations when you start in your relationship. Get to know an individual. Sure. Don't get just to want to know him because you think he or she is nice looking or something. You have to find out what they're really about. Find out what they believe in, what they want, what they think that a marriage or a relationship entails. Find somebody who will communicate with you, who won't put up barriers. You see what I'm saying? And you have to take it from there, but you want to take it slow.
Take it slow.
Take it slow. You don't want to be anxious. You want to get to know the individual. See if that individual is going to be not only a good mate, but a good friend as well. Someone that you can talk to on a regular basis. In a relationship, you should be able to talk to an individual about anything from A to Z.
Yes, sir.
From A to Z. And it shouldn't be a problem. But you got to take your time in order to be able to do that, because a lot of times people have been through different things and they may not want to discuss it, but once they feel comfortable with you, they may just open up. And you can't make anybody open up before they're ready. You know, here in these days, we have people who have what they call triggers. And it used to be back in the day, you know, if a person had an issue, they talked about it. You know, they got over it. And as men, you know, you're a lot younger than myself, but we were taught to hold things in, deal with it, be a man, this, that, and the other, you know. But you have to understand, men and women both have emotions, but men have to live in a logical state. And women, for the most part, they live in their emotions.
Is that dangerous for men to live in a logical state without having that proper balance of expressing certain things that's bothering them?
Well, it can be. It can be. And like I was saying, as we came up in my era, You had to suck things up because if you didn't just deal with things, you were considered to be weak. And every man, for the most part, feels like they have to prove to their father that they're going to be all right, that they can handle their affairs. Mm-hmm. So it's generally the fathers, especially in my era. That's just like if a little boy failed, he playing. He's talking, get up. Be quiet, you all right. Mm-hmm. Whereas mom, who's that nurturer, oh, my baby, pick him up. Yeah, put him down. Yeah, all right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So it's just, times are different now. And unfortunately, no offense to anybody who might take offense to this, the generations have become watered down. Now we're in a time where the men act like females and the females act like men. Yeah. So when you're out trying to choose a mate, you got to be very careful. Mm-hmm. Because a man, if he's a straight man, he wants a feminine woman.
That's right.
And if you have a feminine woman, she wants a masculine man.
That's right.
But in today's society, they want people to believe, and I do believe this because of the feminists, they want women to believe that a man, just because he's masculine, that he's toxic. Mm-hmm. They call it toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm like this. If I have to offend somebody by being the way that the Almighty Yah wants me to be, then I'm sorry, you offended. You offended. Yeah. Because I don't want to offend my Creator by being something other than He wants me to be.
Do you think that comes from being raised in an environment where they didn't experience that, like a real man in the household, and experience those masculine qualities? You know what I'm saying? Being young and growing up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I noticed one of the things that I noticed is it's kind of like we are victimized a little bit when we do show forth our masculinity. And, a lot of people wonder why men go through states of depression or men are weak today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our masculinity, when we do go forth to show that, a lot of times it can create dangerous situations for us men, especially black men. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we already a target.
Well, let me put it this way. Yeah. And let me give my apologies before I say a word to those who may be offended, because what I'm getting ready to say is not to be offensive. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. It's the absolute truth. A lot of times, and I've been guilty of it before myself, we tend to put the cart before the horse. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about relationships, and anytime we get on the dating scene, so to speak, we should be looking for a wife, because the Almighty never condoned boyfriend-girlfriend relationships and playing house, if you will, doing those things that are actually forbidden unless we're married. So the situation today is we get a lot of people, matter of fact, let me say the vast majority of people who look like you and me. Yeah. Because I'm only concerned at this point about people who look like you and me, because we got to get ourselves together before we can help get the world together. That's right. We come from what you might call a single parent household in most cases. So unless you have that balance, remember we talked about that feminine woman and that masculine man there. Yeah. That woman being a nurturer, that father being a disciplinarian. And we're going to talk about that in depth a little bit. But if we don't have both those things there in place, especially once there's a child there, then now that child has an imbalance.
That's right.
That child is starting out crippled. And in a lot of cases, it's unfortunate that a lot of our children come up with parents that were not married. Mm-hmm. Not in all cases, but a lot of cases today, children come up with parents that were not married to one another. So they either shack up, and we don't know how that works out all the time, or either, again, I hate this term, you got baby daddy house over here and baby mama house over here, and the child is in the middle. So if you have a situation like that, then the child is already in a bad place because you're not going to be in a nurturing home You're bouncing back and forth because the rules are different at baby mama house than they are at baby daddy house.
That's right.
So you see what I'm saying? So that child do not have a sturdy foundation.
Already. Yeah.
So the Almighty had a plan that a man and a woman should be married before they procreated, before they had a child, and then they're to raise that child together. Now, keep in mind, a lot of our, I'll say, people, male and females today, are void of some of the qualities that we should actually have when we're going into looking for a relationship. Let me say this first and foremost. The highest honor that let's talk about us right now, speaking of Israel. But this is period. The highest honor that a woman can have is to be another man's wife. We use terms of endearment. Like she's my queen. My son, that's my little prince. My daughter, that's my little princess. I'm the king. Well, you can only have one king and one queen. And a lot of our sisters today have been taught that they're all black queens and they deserve to be treated like a queen. And they should have this, that, and they should have everything. Well, that's not the case. Again, you can only have one king and one queen. And the highest honor, again, that a woman can have is to be a man's wife. But unfortunately, in these times, I'm hearing a lot of mess. It's all over social media, all over the internet, that women, for the most part, are not seeking to be married. Not seeking to be married at all. I've literally heard some things. I don't know if I can say this on the podcast. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but you see people all over the internet saying they would rather be a whore, and they use the word, than to be married. They say they would rather have a baby. Now, this is not for all women, so I don't want people to start hating on me because I'm telling the truth here. Because anybody who has access to the internet can get out and find the same things.
Oh, yeah.
And I know these things because I just do a lot of research about a lot of different things, a lot of different topics, because we can't add to a conversation if we don't know anything at all about it.
That's right.
See, so guys, for the most part, are walking away from relationships because, and every guy that I talk to, for the most part, and this is the truth, and y'all know that I'm telling the truth here, they're walking away from relationships because a lot of the women that they deal with are just disrespectful, emasculating, and they have and it's always the guy's fault. Whenever there's a situation going on, it's always the guy's fault. So we have to, like I said, when you're talking to a woman because you're interested in her and she's interested in you, you have to have those conversations. And one of the things you want to find out, and you'll find these things out by the way they act, is are they going to be accountable? See, a man needs to be accountable, but guess what? A woman also needs to be held accountable.
I totally agree.
Because if you're going to have a relationship, and that relationship ultimately being in a marriage, then there's a duty for that wife as well as there's a duty for that husband. And anyone who slacks is going to hinder that relationship. So we all have a part to play.
Now, when you say hinder the relationship, you mean keep it from growing?
Keep it from growing.
Okay.
And see, here's the thing. Again, like I said, sometimes if a person has their wall up, whether it be the man or the woman, if they have a wall up, that communication is going to be stifled. If you can't communicate, and communication is the basis for any relationship, whether it's a business relationship or just a personal relationship, a marriage, that communication is key. Yeah. Because if you don't have communication, that whole situation is going to be in trouble. It's going to be in trouble. So, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because sometimes I be having so much on my mind, that I might leave a particular. So if I venture off from one thing to another, bring me back,
I got you.
because I definitely don't want to leave anything out. But when a person, like I say, is dating, we should be dating to try and find a wife if in fact we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it used to be a time, some of these young folk don't know, where marriages were arranged.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on arranged marriages? So
Well,
on that?
well,
that
like I tell
outdated
you,
in 2024.
well, like I tell you, I'm traditional,
Okay.
and tradition was passed down by way of the law. I don't have a modern mindset. And see, here's the thing. Don't let me lose that question that you asked, because I need to venture off, and then I want to answer that question, so don't let me forget.
Okay.
In today's time, you have modern females who want a traditional man. But here's what they don't understand. Those things that a traditional man does should be for his wife, not a girlfriend. Not a girlfriend.
So she got to be a wife.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let me give you an example. In today's world, the world that we live in here, let's say here in the West, if you're dating a woman, a lot of them, I'm not going to say y'all because I want to be very careful with my words here, but a lot of them expect you to pay for this, pay for that, you know, get their hair done, their nails done, they this, they that, and whatnot. If a man's going to do those things, that should be reserved for his wife.
Exactly.
You don't get the, and see, and when you ask and here again, I hope I don't get haters for this, but I said that we should always find out about an individual, know what they're about, if they meet the qualifications that we need in a wife. So when you ask the woman, in a lot of cases, well, what do you bring to the table? You know what that answer is a lot of times? If you check on the internet, you'll see it. I am the table. Or I'm just bringing me. Nobody says anything about, well, I'm bringing peace.
That's a good one right
because
there.
I know that when you're out as a man dealing with the world, you can get beat up.
Wow.
And so by the time you come home after a hard day of whatever it is you're doing, making your sacrifices to take care of us,
fellas, add that to your list.
then I need to be that one, that female needs to be that one who say, well, come here. Yeah. She's going to soothe you.
Nurture.
You see what I'm saying? There you go. See, I don't want women to think that you only nurture your child. You also have to nurture your relationship. But some women will say, I'm not his mother. Well, we don't expect them to be our mother, but we need you to be a part of the marriage. Yeah. And again, women have a duty in that marriage as well as men.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's perceived as the man is supposed to go out and do everything and you just don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think that's producing a lot of relationships where a woman actually falls in love with what a man can do for her rather than falling in love with that man himself.
You brought out a good point, not to interrupt you. not to interrupt you, but let me give you an example of something that, again, may be offensive because women have been taught wrong.
Difference, right? Between the
absolutely. Okay. I'm going to give you an example here. And again, it might sound like I'm talking about all women, but I am not talking about all women. Let me say that first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Men are more concerned. See, because you get a man who like a woman, she work at Burger King or Wendy's.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll marry that woman if she's right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but a woman is generally not going to marry a man who's working at Burger King or Wendy's. Right. The reason why is because women are more, and again, I got to keep saying this, let's say some women, a lot of women, are more concerned about your bank account. Men may be concerned about her body count. Mm. You see, because ideally, women were supposed to be what before they were married? Virgins.
That's right.
Virgins. It's very rare that you will find a virgin these days because they've made it seem like if you were a virgin, something's wrong with you.
You a square.
I would rather be a square. I would rather be a square. See, as we get older and we tend to get wiser, scriptures say, with much wisdom, bring much grief. You get that grief. I literally regret some of the things that I didn't know when I was younger because I was out of bounds. I was just like everybody else that I knew.
Yeah.
Moray Alicia used to say, we are monkey see, monkey do people.
That's right.
I was one of those individuals that had girlfriends and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. But as we learn better,
we do better.
then we do better. Well, we should do better. And we should feel bad about some of the things that we've done. Really, we should feel bad about all the things that we've done that were offensive to the Creator.
Absolutely.
But everybody don't have that mindset. But like I say, a woman should not just be one who receives. A man shouldn't just be pouring into that woman. That woman should be pouring into that man. In other words, we both pour into that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want the success of that relationship. Stats will show that, and this is unfortunate, but facts, people can look it up, that our black women tend to leave relationships more than black men. Matter of fact, in relationships, period,
the women too.
about 80% of women, they leave the relationship. They leave the relationship. Even when they have children. Even when they have children. So a lot of times they leave a relationship. Why? Because they're not happy. They don't realize there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs in a relationship. But again, you can check on the internet. They've got a bunch of different women sharing with other women. If you're not happy, you should leave.
Yeah.
You should leave. So that means you're willing to destroy an entire marriage and family out of selfishness. Because we've fallen in love with that Disney scenario. That everything is always supposed to be roses and a man is supposed to go out and buy you flowers every day and do all these different things that's just a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. It's not.
Marriage is work.
It's work.
Do we think that people who've been married 40 or 50 years or 60 years or 70 years or whatnot, and we've had people married that long, you see what I'm saying? Do we think that they didn't go through any issues at all? But mature people, they work their issues out. I had a conversation with a teacher just recently, this past week. And for some reason, a female teacher. And we got to talking about marriage. And I asked her a question. I say, let me ask you a question. I say, is marriage, and I asked this based on the way she was talking. Because she was talking like she runs the marriage. So I asked her, is marriage a partnership? And she said, absolutely. I said, really? Where you get that from? And she started giving me her spiel. And of course, it wasn't
her philosophy.
Yeah, it wasn't scripture.
That's right.
It wasn't scripture. And then I brought it to mind. I said, well, in the book, I said, who ordained marriage? And I had to coach to let her
That's
know.
what a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I let her know that it was the Almighty. Matter of fact, if you go to the book of Genesis, I believe around the 2nd chapter of Genesis, that's where we're going to see the first marriage. It might be somewhere around the 18th verse starting out. Don't quote me on that. I do believe I'm accurate with that, though. But I asked her where she get that from. Because she told me she would override her husband's decisions sometimes.
What?
Oh, yes, yes. So then I brought to mind and I told her about Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the 16th verse. And I said, that's where the Most High was talking to the woman. And he told that woman, what? That her desire should be to her husband and he should rule over her. Now, I know a lot of women don't like that word rule. And sometimes I used to say rule or govern because govern is the softer word. But I'm going to keep it the way it is because my thing is never to offend. But a lot of times you have women in general who just disagree with the Almighty.
Yeah.
Again, because women are led by their what?
Emotion.
They're led by their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those emotions can mess up some things.
Gotta say that.
Men and women communicate differently, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. When I told her that her desire should be to her husband, now that's that sexual desire. That don't mean if I like football, you got to like football too.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And she really wasn't trying to hear that. she and a lot of women don't want to hear that. They say, no, this is a 50-50 thing.
Right.
Well, if a husband is supposed to rule or govern over his wife in his household, then who's the head of house if it's a 50-50 thing? Because a 50-50 thing means it's a partnership. It's a equal thing. Somebody's got to be the head.
That's right.
According to the Almighty.
And that's in anything, whether you run a business, a school, or whatever you run it, somebody's got to be the leader of it.
You never have two presidents.
That's right.
You have a president and maybe vice president,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have two people that's in charge. Well, this will say no, but this will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
This will say go, this will say stop.
Mm-hmm.
We have to really be wise when you're actually even dating. And again, I say a lot of times, and this is just keeping it real, a lot of times people date because they just trying to get with somebody.
Yeah.
They're not looking for marriage. They're looking for a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an abomination to the Almighty.
Wow.
And for Israel, we need to realize what we're doing. We need to realize what we're doing because we are out of bounds. I've been out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wrong. I would not want to be married at this time. I wouldn't want to be because I know everything is being so watered down and people have been so deceived. It's this person trying to get this person before they feel like they get got.
Say that again, because I want to make sure I'm understanding.
People are trying to, in relationships, people are not being very serious the way they should be about, say, like, I'm in this because I'm looking at the big picture and the big picture being married.
Right.
People are trying to get what they think they can get out of that relationship without being married. In other words, what can you do for me?
Right.
People playing house,
Mm-hmm.
but they really don't want to be involved in that. Again, like I say, I'm traditional. I can remember my mother fixing my father's plate first, then feeding the children,
Mm-hmm.
and then she would take care of herself or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Today, people say, she's a fool. I ain't his mother. I shouldn't have to cook. Let me tell you something. I heard something I believe this to be absolute truth. And other people may have heard it as well. You give a woman in a marriage, you give a woman a house, she turns it into a home.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Buy them groceries, she give you a meal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Easy.
Give her your seed, what you get? A baby.
That's right.
Or babies.
Mm-hmm.
So we're supposed to multiply. That should be multiplying things.
Things should be growing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
Only a fool would tear down their relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's genuine, if it's real, even in the dating process, we can abstain from doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it takes a person a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Say they've been going together for 10 years. They've been engaged after 10 years for 2 more years or whatnot. No, it don't take all that. If you're trying to marry somebody, if you want to be right in the sight of the Almighty, and like I say, I haven't always had this mindset because I was young and stupid before myself.
Yes, sir.
But when we get wiser, we want to pass on that information so other people don't make the same mistakes that we made.
And that's the whole point of the podcast. Everybody, we want everybody to just be aware of the various snares and traps that's out here and give you the wisdom so you can have the foresight to make the right decision for yourself. That go to the ladies and the gentlemen. We here to try to help, everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marriage is sacred. marriage is a covenant. I watch something, and I see this on the internet often too when I'm doing research. There are guys out there talking about they would never get married and they don't trust women because they talk about all the different married women that they've been with. A lot of times people don't even understand that adultery is a death sentence by the Almighty.
That's right. Whether
Whether they know it or not.
Easy.
Whether they know it or not. A lot of people don't even understand. Thou shalt not commit adultery is one of the 10 commandments. Believe it or not, Kim, a lot of people don't even know what the 10 commandments are.
That's right. Yeah.
I've literally asked people, and a lot of people don't even know what I'm not talking about the particular commandments. A lot of people don't know what the 10 commandments are.
Mm-hmm.
It's our lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people don't even realize that umbilical cord that from the Almighty to us so that we can prosper, they don't have it. And sometimes the things that we don't know can harm us.
That's right.
If not take our very life.
Yeah.
But ask me some specific questions before we get into some things here, because I'm just rambling on talking about particular things because those things are really, really important. And I can't say this to you, though, King, that the vast majority of the guys that I talk to, I say just about 100% of the guys that I talk to, they all have the same story about their relationships.
Whoa.
They all have the same story. The relationship isn't working well because it's their fault. It's their fault.
As the man.
As the man. It's always, you hear what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
It's always their fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that they're not doing. And like I said, I believe in accountability on both sides. On both sides. So guys, if you're out there and you're really looking for a wife, get to know her first. Have those conversations. See, you can't take a wife without having conversations and then you find out that she's not who you thought she was and you're not who she thought you were. You got to be an open book.
Honesty.
Both parties, honesty. You have to be an open book.
Yeah.
You have to volunteer. If she's the one or if he's the one, you have to be able to open up and give information that might be pertinent. You don't want to have some secrets. You don't want to be involved in a situation where you're around, say for the woman, for example. You don't want to be, and for the man, you don't want to be in a situation where you're constantly around a certain individual that you used to be attached to. And your significant other don't know that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're constantly in this environment for whatever reason, say it's a work environment or whatever type of environment it is, don't let your mate find out later on down the line that you've been involved with this person for a significant amount of time and you haven't shared that with her. Mm-hmm. See, you make yourself an open book.
That's right.
That way they don't have to be concerned. I know that my wife got to know that if I'm out for a longer period of time, she know 9 times out of 10, I'm out running my mouth somewhere.
Right. That's good. She know that.
I'm out running. If my phone rings, answer it.
That's right.
I don't have anything to hide. You see what I'm saying? Answer it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of that going on in the world. Just a lot of dishonesty. And that's one of the things I've been focusing on towards the end of last year, I'd say, is that a lot of people are hiding who they truly are. And I think that's what's damaging relationships. You know what I'm saying? Before you get into a relationship, you really want to lay all the cards on the table. Am I right?
You're right. You're right. And let me give you an example of what I was talking about here. If I have a water bottle sitting here and I'm with my woman and she's sitting there, and I reach for my water bottle, but she think I'm reaching for her phone, and she grabbed that phone real quick. That's a red flag.
That's a red flag for sure.
Something's going on. Something is going on.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of times, we don't know how to read the signs. As men, we don't know how to read the signs because, again, men are visual.
Yeah.
Men are visual. We know what we like. We know what we want. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something you might find be shocking.
Okay.
You know, the average guy, they want what they call somebody that's fine. It's fine. She's drop dead gorgeous. I don't necessarily want that.
Really?
I don't want that. Say you got this fine woman, you're interested in her. She's got a social media page.
Uh-oh.
Right? And say she's taking 40 pictures just so she can post about 10 good ones, because, you know, they like them angles and all that type of stuff to get them right. Got filters on. She's posting all this stuff. She's showing different things on her body and whatnot. You know, bosoms hanging out, thighs and all this. If you're interested in her and you ask her to
take that down,
get rid of that social media page. If she's not willing to do that, leave that woman alone.
Why you say that?
Because they want that attention. And I get you, that body's supposed to be for me.
That's right.
Why you want to keep revealing it to the world?
To the world, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they want that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
They want to get those likes. Me liking you enough is not good enough for you? No. So when you got that 10, now you know other people are constantly trying to hit on her.
That's right.
And if she's not being about her business with the Almighty first and foremost,
gotta be,
then you don't have anything coming.
It's only a matter of time.
And we do get jealous. If a man say, if you see somebody else all up on your wife or whatnot, you don't even know this person, we get jealous. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
And some people tend to think you're supposed to be okay with that. Now, let me say, in everything that I'm saying, I don't want anybody to think I'm saying this because of my wife, because my relationship ain't like that.
Okay.
I'm talking as a man.
As a man.
You see what I'm saying? An older man who's been around for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And I've been the type of guy that, I don't know if you can call me that go-to guy where people come to me for advice and, you know,
Yes,
asking questions. But that's been for a very long time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell people what I know. And like I say, if she's not willing to give up that page, then she's not the one for you. I'd rather have a woman who's beautiful on the inside first and foremost.
That's wisdom.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
beautiful
wisdom.
On the inside.
That's
I ain't talking about I want somebody who look like, oh my God. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people should look for.
Quality.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And like you said, quality is really on the inside, her character. You know, her character, her skills, her femininity, things of that nature, and her loyalty.
Exactly.
We judge quality based on how they look.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You go all over the internet. A man asks a woman to rate herself. Most of them gonna say a 10. A 10. Hold on. Listen to me. Most of them gonna say a 10. That means there's no room for improvement. Now, if you ask a woman to, and again, I hope women do not get upset with me because, see, I'm talking from a man's perspective. Men and women are completely different. So let me say first and foremost, this is not to offend anyone. So if a guy asks this woman, say they started dating and he's only seen her one way. He's seen her one way. He's seen her with her weave, her makeup, her nails, all her contact lenses, her lashes, everything. Now I asked the woman, and again, I got to keep saying, might sound like I'm talking about all women. I am not talking about all women. Let's say I'm talking about a lot of women, though, right? Ask them to rate themselves without that. Just to rate themselves, because they rate themselves based on what they think is beautiful. Beauty starts where? On the inside first. So if I'm asking you to rate yourself, or if a man asks a person to rate themselves, how come you don't never get no 5s, no 6s, no 7s, no 8s? That number's always going to be high. It's going to be right around a 10. Damn, like get on the internet and watch it. There's a lot of places you can go there. That means this person is saying that they're perfect. No wonder everything's always your fault.
Wow.
No wonder everything's always my fault.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So when you have, I taught a class a while back, can you keep the Almighty's laws if you have a modern mindset?
Mm-hmm.
I would say you have to have a traditional, because tradition came down by way of the law.
Of the law.
You would have to have a traditional mindset in order to be willing to keep the Almighty's laws.
Yeah.
Because modern women aren't, meaning in modern time, even with modern guys, they make a law say you can be a homosexual.
That's modern.
The Almighty's laws is gone.
Yeah.
They're going to go to this. You see what I'm saying? You can wear what you want to wear.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you. You see this all over the internet too. They asked a man in front of his girlfriend, because a lot of times you see the situation, they're not married. I asked him if he can tell her what she can and cannot wear. And she'll speak up first. No, he can't tell me what to wear. And in today's society, less is more. It ain't about dressing modestly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Less is more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, can I suggest what my wife should wear? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Can you? I'm sure, of course. Matter of fact, they already know. They don't have to ask us.
That's right.
They already know.
If they fear the Almighty.
They already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, here's where the problem lies. When you're searching for a mate, whether it's the male or the female, you want somebody who is trying to be right in the sight of the Almighty.
That's right.
And if you don't have that, you're asking for problems.
Yeah. And that's the honest truth right there. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't got no relationship with them, my mother always taught me just to give me a woman that's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? If she don't have a relationship with the Almighty herself, if she's not consciously choosing that, you know what I'm saying? You gambling. You gambling.
Mm-hmm. What's to stop her from committing adultery? Who wants to stop anybody? Because I know Israelites who've done the same thing. But you want to at least give yourself a chance at being with somebody who knows the Almighty. Right?
Brother. Yeah, we in the middle of the podcast right now. All right.
In the do me a favor. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter for a second.
All right, y'all. We about to get in the word of the Almighty.
Let's look at the 9th verse.
Ecclesiastes, what chapter?
The 4th chapter, 9th verse, where it starts to read here. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he has not another to help him up. Those 2, when you laying down together, that's not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's right.
That's not talking about somebody just shacking up. That's not talking about somebody just hooking up. Those 2 that they talking about right there should be what?
Husband and wife.
Man and wife.
Mm.
Husband and wife. Again, everything we tend to do, we don't take the things that are important, we don't take those things seriously.
Yeah.
And I have to say this, and a lot of times people don't understand the way I say this. When we go outside of the law, we don't love ourselves.
I could definitely.
We don't love ourselves.
I could definitely agree.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to please the flesh, and we're going about it in a way where the Almighty said, that ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't good. It's a violation. Matter of fact, if we were in our own land in times of old, we'd be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be put to death. The women that we say we love, that we get to lay with us, they'd be put to death if they wasn't married. And believe it or not, well, I know you know, that's still the law today. We're not supposed to make whores out of the Almighty's daughters. We're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been guilty of it? Yes, I have been guilty of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's good. You can acknowledge it. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they don't even care.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, if we don't acknowledge it, then you can't ask the Almighty for forgiveness for it.
Mm.
But then when you know you want to marry someone, then you go ahead and you make that happen. You make it happen. And hopefully an individual have marriage on their mind.
Yeah.
Again, everybody don't want to get married. You got a lot of people that are selfish. They don't want to pay for somebody else. They don't want to add to their bills. They might feel like, well, I'm barely taking care of myself. If that's the case, you're not ready for marriage. You shouldn't be dating.
That's right.
You should be getting your situation in order.
I totally agree with that.
How can I look to getting married if I'm, and more right there you say that I'm working in White Castles, not making a whole lot of daggone money, and I'm trying to get married to somebody. But we gonna move. She gonna get on Section 8, and we gonna move in with her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A man's supposed to have his own house.
That's right.
That's just like when if things didn't work out, he'd give her a bill of divorcement. He'd write her that divorce. Show the difference between today's society and these modern times and the way the Almighty got it set up. Say if things didn't work out for whatever reason, and this man gives this woman this bill of divorce. He gives her that bill of divorcement, and she leaves his house.
That's right.
He don't say nothing at all about her and the children.
Children stay with him.
Who's supposed to take care of them children? The man's supposed to take care of them children.
Yeah.
He's supposed to take them children. But this system that we're in today, tell him, you take them children. If he can't give you no money, don't let him see those children. All kinds of just foolery.
Man, I told a sister that one time that if ever when a man and a woman get divorced, that it's better off for those children to go with the man. When I tell you she looked at me like I was a demon or something, I'm talking about she gave me like the weirdest look. It was like, what? They're supposed to go with the mom. Like it blew her mind that I said that.
That's where she get that from.
I don't know where
she got that from.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the predicament that a lot of people are in today.
Yeah.
Black, white, don't make a difference.
Right.
The system has been set up not for you and me, not for men. A woman can get housing, her and her children, but a man can't be there. When welfare started, a woman getting welfare, she better not have anything in the house that pertain to a man. Yeah. Better not be, when they come to a space, you better not have no man's shoes or anything in there. Yeah. Otherwise, they mess around and cut you off. So we've been misled. You see what I'm saying? And again, a lot of times it's because of our own ignorance. The Almighty said to seek His word.
That's right.
We're not doing that because if we sought after His word, we start straightening up. If we were sincere. Key word, if we're sincere. And we got a lot of people who are just not. Matter of fact, King, this is going to be kind of, well, it might not be hard for you to understand. You and I, we're oddballs.
Yeah.
In society, we're oddballs because we want to live, and let me be the oddball.
Yes, sir. Yes,
let
sir.
me be the oddball.
Yes, sir.
When people are trying to do that which is right in the sight of the Almighty, you're different.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like everybody else.
That's right.
I want my blessings. And I'm going to do what I need to do to get my blessings willfully. And be glad to do it.
And be happy about it.
And be happy about it. And see, a lot of times people think that if you ain't out here and you ain't balling and you ain't making a lot of money, you can't do this, that, and the other form, that you're not worthy to be their husband. But wait a minute, are you worthy to be somebody's wife?
That's a fact.
Again, to be a man's wife is the highest honor a woman can have, not being somebody's girlfriend. What honor is there in being somebody's girlfriend? Think about what I'm saying. What honor is there in being somebody's girlfriend?
Women, that question for y'all.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, husbands should be providers. Husbands should be protectors. Husbands should have that house or home or something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Husbands should govern their household. Children should. Husbands should make sure that their children and if they have children and their wife are okay and taken care of to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
You see, husbands have a responsibility, and the responsibility goes farther than that. But in a marriage, the wife has responsibilities as well, and that's what keeps that balance. There, the Almighty has a balance.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think a lot of women act like we creating these rules. You know what I'm saying? Like when we tell a woman about her role, is as if we're being like these things are actually coming from us.
Mm.
That's how I think a lot of women take it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when men fight about, okay, as a woman, as you being my wife, as you being my woman, these are the things that I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, I'm going to do my part. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of women take it as if we're creating this. I think men today are just fighting for what's right. As you say, the things that were traditional, mm-hmm. these laws that were passed mm-hmm. on to our grandmothers or our grandfathers mm-hmm. or great grandmothers and grandfathers. I think we just trying to fight for what's the best result for our legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like mm-hmm. when we tell a woman, like, okay, the kid, if something ever happened between me and you, the kids need to live with me. A lot of women get offended about that. But those children are his legacy. They're part of his legacy. They get his last name. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Exactly. And see, let me tell you something. And this is a true statement.
Right.
I say I work in the school system, and the school system is horrible.
Yes, it is.
The vast majority, this is what I'm saying, mm-hmm. the vast majority of the female students in the school building is off the hook. Mm. I get cussed out by 12-year-olds, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls. Got funky attitudes. And here's how I can tell that they live with just their mom. No offense to those mothers. I got to keep saying that because I'm not talking about all. Mm. But here's how I can tell they stay with just their mother and there's no strong male figure in the house.
Yeah.
When they act the way they do, I'll either make a statement or ask the question. Either I'll say, do you live with just your mother? Or I'll say, you live with just your mother, don't you? Now, if it's not the mother, it's the grandmother, something like that, it's a female, right? In most cases, mom. And 99.9% of the time, it's yes. I can tell because if a man is in that house, yeah, and I ain't talking about no muscle-bound strong man, a man who's firm, yeah, that daughter ain't gonna be acting like that. Now, also, when the boys are silly as all get out. The girls are just mean and nasty for the most part.
Yeah.
When the boys are cutting up, the same thing applies. When you talking to them and they go, you know, smacking their lips and doing all those things and having different mannerisms, I say to them too. You live with your mother, right? Always right.
Yeah.
So when you have single parents and that parent be a mother who takes on that load, she's trying to do a job that's going to put her in her masculinity. You hear what I'm saying? So when another man approaches her, if she's single, and she's in her masculinity, she might not realize it because that's just like a woman
who
might
not realize it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's just like a woman who has a large responsibility based on her job. She might have a bunch of people up under her.
Yeah.
So because
a boss lady coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So because she's in that situation, she's going to take on those masculine traits in order to get those things done. She might not realize that's what she's doing because she has to be more aggressive to get those things done. So a lot of women that are like that don't necessarily mean that they were trying to be a man. Yeah. They just don't realize they're taking on masculine characteristics. Mm-hmm. See, usually, traditionally, a woman was at home.
That's right.
She was taking care of the house, the children, this, that, and the other. The man was going out taking care of everything. You see what I'm saying? That's tradition. But in modern times, things have changed. Now you have women saying, I don't need a man. You don't need a man. Teach another woman, you don't need a man. Well, this whole infrastructure here was built up by men. If they need a plumber, they ain't going to go get some woman. They need somebody to work on their car. They ain't going to get another woman. They need some work done on their house. They ain't going to get another woman. But they say they don't need a man. And they're teaching their children, their daughters, you don't need a man. I did it. Let me tell you something. And again, I hope I'm not getting haters or whatnot, but if I do, I get those haters by telling the truth.
That's right.
When a woman's talking about she is a strong, independent black woman. Independent meaning you don't need nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a woman that's strong. I want a woman who can handle herself.
Yeah.
But utilize me for that.
That's right.
I need you to stay soft.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like you got to carry that load.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my responsibility.
That's my job.
So anytime a woman talking about it, she's trying to get him, I'm a strong, independent black woman. You taking yourself out the running. You're taking yourself. I'm just telling you, ladies, this because women and men think completely different. Men and women do not even communicate the same way.
It's a fact.
So when they talking about they're being overlooked, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Masculinity is attracted to femininity. And femininity should be attracted to masculinity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And don't no man want a masculine woman unless he's just unless he's feminine.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get into some things here for a second. Matter of fact, I mentioned Genesis, the 3rd chapter.
I'll go there.
The 18th verse. Let's go there for a second, just so I can explain that so people can see that ain't something that I just made up.
Right. It's Genesis 3:18 or 17?
3 and 16. Genesis 3 and 16.
Okay.
That's where the Almighty was talking to the woman. And in the 17th verse, I believe that's where he was talking to the man. And those were our punishments for that disobedience. But read that. There you go.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
That's cut and dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now, so that I don't have to explain, and I will tell people what your interpretation of that is without adding to it. What does that desire mean? And what does he shall rule over you mean? Is that like a partnership? Because when you had Adam and Eve there in the garden, Adam already knew, don't take of this right here, because the Almighty had already let him know.
Yeah.
So when he talking about the woman gave it to him, you knew better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He already knew better.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't pass the buck. Mm-hmm. So he got a punishment and she got a punishment. Her punishment was that it might have taken, I don't know, maybe let's say 1,000 years to have a baby. Mm-hmm. But that got expedited to what? 9 months on the regular.
Yeah.
And then she's going to have them babies in sorrow. And then that husband was to rule over. Do that sound like a partnership to you?
No. That's cut and dry.
Somebody's got to be the head. Now, because of this hard-headed, let's read the 17th verse.
And I want to say something about this.
Please do.
To me, what that means, he shall rule over thee. When we talking about marriage and the way that the Almighty set this whole thing up, when it says your desire shall be to your husband and he shall rule over thee, what that means to me is women be ready to take instruction. Did I get that one?
Say it again.
Women be ready to take instructions. Yep.
So, because, see, it's always a good thing in marriage to discuss issues.
Right.
That's a good thing. You can discuss issues. But that final decision comes from who, King?
That king. That husband.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And it should be reasonable and within the confines of the Almighty's law. Mm-hmm. Because that foundation for that marriage should be the Almighty's law, period.
Yeah.
It's his word. So I would be out of order if I just start being a tyrant and trying to have my wife do any and everything that ain't right.
Absolutely.
Then that's me being a very foolish husband, and that woman should try to get far away from me.
Yes, sir.
Far away from me. Mm-hmm. Now, that 17th verse was that man's punishment, which was, go ahead and read that.
It says, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In sorrow you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. And in the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
So this man's supposed to work. He's supposed to get out there and work to the sweat of his brow.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get out there and make it happen. Again, you get your tradition from the law.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So again, you got these women out here now talking about she's a boss chick, she's this, she's that, and the other. Men don't, ladies, let me say this. And again, you get mad, it's on you. I'm not saying anything in a way to be offensive, I assure you I'm not. A man don't care nothing about how much money you are, and not unless he's a bum. He don't care nothing about your money. He don't care nothing about that plaque you got on the wall, and he don't care nothing at all about that, because his responsibility. There's an old saying that his money is y'all's money, and your money is your money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We don't care nothing at all about that. A woman should be seeking to have a husband. Not a boyfriend, not racking bodies up. You see what I'm saying? Your desire should be to have a husband so that you can build together. My thing is, when a woman, and again, this may not be for all women, when a woman has a lot already, she's already got herself established, this, that, and that, she's making good money. A lot of times she's going to want a man who makes at least as much as she does, if not more. She's not going to be willing to, if she's making $100,000 plus a year, she don't want a man that's making $30,000, $40,000. You see what I'm saying? She don't want that. So she's not going to be so eager to hearken to him. She's not going to be so eager to listen to him, even though he's the husband. She's going to think that she's outgrown him because of money. That's not the order of the Almighty. Again, it used to be a time where the women were home. They took care of the house. Like I said, you give it a house, you turn it to a home. And she was content with that. But as the years went on with marketing and all this, that, and the other, people started to advertise to women. You see? So they said, instead of just getting this man's money, because women weren't working then, now let's get some of their money too. And so that's how that came into play. Like I said, a man, he'll marry a woman who worked at Taco Bell,
That's a fact.
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you trying to talk to me? You work at, and that's the woman talking to the man. If he work at Taco Bell or Wendy's, you see what I'm saying? What can you do for me? we just have to keep things in this proper perspective. Now let's go to Proverbs 18th chapter.
All right.
22nd verse.
Proverbs 13, 22nd verse.
18. Proverbs 18, 22.
All right, it says in Proverbs 18:22, whoso finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor.
No, they didn't say that. They said who find a girlfriend finds a good thing. Ain't that what it said?
No, I say a wife.
It said who find a wife.
Man.
You're absolutely right. If you find a wife, you find a good thing. So matter of fact, is there any place that you know of, because there's no place that I know of at all in the scriptures where it refers to a boyfriend, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know of any place in there at all?
Even the concubines became wives.
Mm-hmm.
Those are wives.
A lower form of a wife.
That's right. Yeah. No, I don't know nothing about no girlfriend.
But see, again, we all have made those mistakes as far as dating. But once we really get a firm understanding of what's pleasing to the Almighty and what's not pleasing, then if we're wise, we make those adjustments and we get our act together.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, people don't fear the Almighty.
Yeah.
And it's going to be rare, even though the people that's all around us are Israel. They don't know who they are and don't want to hear it. And they're not trying to let you persuade them on anything.
Boy, good luck.
They're not trying to let you persuade them on anything. That's just like the older person get, the more set they become in their ways.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that you'll have someone who is willing to make those appropriate changes. People will love to please themselves before anybody else. So in most cases, it's not about pleasing the Almighty. self come first. So in other words, a lot of times people don't realize they're making themselves their own God, their own deity.
Yeah.
What's the very first commandment?
No other gods before the Creator.
But we're making ourselves gods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a death sentence.
Yeah.
That's a fool. But people don't understand. Unless people get in that book, because the Almighty told us to seek His word, unless we get in the book, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not willing to listen to somebody tell us something that we don't agree with because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's so daggone deep. I got a question. Matter of fact, I have a few questions.
You got a question down here too. But go ahead and get
No, give me that question first there.
Or this from Candyman Uriah. It says, do you believe dating is a custom of the oppressors? Can you show anywhere that they dated in scripture?
No, I can't show anywhere where they dated in scriptures.
Okay.
I can't show anything at all. Matter of fact, a lot of the relationships in scriptures, they were where the fathers had everything to do with those marriages. Right. You see what I'm saying? And
I don't want to hear that one.
I missed some of that because you had asked me before, do I believe in arranged marriages? And I laughed. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and if I've got anything to do with it, I will definitely have a lot to do with it. Who she married, because I'm not going to let my daughter marry just anybody.
That's right.
Because I've been on this earth a lot longer than my daughter, and I know that I'm going to be a lot wiser, and I know what guys are about. You know what I'm saying? They can't fake it in front of me.
Real talk.
You see what I'm saying? So absolutely. Now, read that question that he had again.
He said, "Do you believe dating is a custom of the oppressors?" Can you show?
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly believe that. Let me tell you something. In these modern times, if my daughter wanted to go to the movies, matter of fact, my daughter ain't got no boyfriend. She don't know no boys like that. Not at all. And if she did know somebody and they wanted to go to the movies, I say, okay, come on, we're going to go to the movies. I might sit in the row behind them, or a couple of rows behind them. Y'all going up there and enjoy yourself. I'm not letting my daughter go out with somebody by herself.
Without your supervision.
There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody going to be.
We got to get back to that, man.
Somebody going to be. I know. I don't play like that because I know guys. I know guys.
Let me ask you one quick question, because a lot of people are raising their daughters with too much freedom. You know what I'm saying? And when I say people, I'm not going to say man or woman, because I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about them. But I'm saying a lot of modern people are raising their daughters with a lot of freedom. So in other words, they let their daughters have boyfriends and go out on dates by themselves, go to prom. And I want to get your perspective on that, and tell me, do you help the younger audience understand the harm that these young ladies are doing to themselves when they start engaging in sexual activities too early?
The most precious thing that a young lady has is her virtue. And the fact that a lot of times she gives her virtue away at an early age to somebody who she shouldn't be giving it to at all lessens her. And that's just me keeping it real. I know a lot of people, they don't want to hear it. But it's the Almighty who gives us our blessings. It's He and He alone who gives us our life, the days that we have. It's He alone who blesses us. He can use somebody else to bless us, but those blessings come from Him. When we are doing things that are literally a death sentence. Think about what I'm saying. So, fathers, we have to guard our daughters.
That's right.
Mothers, you have to guard your daughters. We may have messed up as we were coming up, but do that mean we got to allow our children to make the same mistakes that we made? Think about all the unwed mothers that we have. Think about this term that I absolutely hate, baby mama and baby daddy. But now that's what's happening. People like those terms. my baby mama, my baby daddy? What about my husband? What about my wife? This is, I talk a lot about things that annoy me, the things that I've even done before when I was younger. Because when you learn better and you see the damage, when I see the damage that is caused and the damage that is causing among y'all's people, I can imagine. I can't imagine how the Almighty feels. But my wife will tell you I'm constantly talking about stuff that I hate. And I know I wrote a lot of stuff for her. But I see stuff that's immoral. Yeah. And not that I'm all of that. But when you learn better, you want to do better, and you want the people to be better so that the people can keep getting those blessings. Mm-hmm. It's anytime a woman has a child and she is not married, that child comes in the world at a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. You hear what I'm saying, King? Yeah. Because that child is not going to have that mother and that father in the same home to nurture that child and to build that child up, to teach that child from the very foundation what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. That child is not going to have access to both parents at the same time.
That's right.
In a lot of cases, that child, regardless of whether it's a male or a female child, is not going to have that father's last name. A lot of times, that father don't even get to name that child.
Wow.
When I have a son, that son is supposed to take on my last name. Yeah. That's how I continue to live through my son. When he has sons, they take on his name. Mm-hmm. If they have daughters, those daughters are going to get married off. They're going to take on their husband's last name. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's how we keep our generations going.
Absolutely. Man, you on fire.
That's how we keep our legacy going.
Yes, sir.
And again, I have to say this, a lot of foolishness come about because, again, I'm not trying to say anything to offend anyone. If you get offended, be offended with the Almighty. Don't be a fool to be offended by the Almighty's laws, though. Right. Because I'm trying to live according to the Almighty's laws, and that's what I'm sharing with everybody here. I lost my daggone thought.
Do you see that?
Where? Right here?
Yeah. That's my message.
Got to cut it. Got to go. Pick up what?
Me.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me ask a couple of questions. We're gonna cut this short. Mm-hmm. Now this gonna be a tricky question, and everybody ain't gonna know this. Mm-hmm. But I know you're going to know this here. Can a husband or a wife divorce their spouse for having an affair? Think about that question. I'm talking about in Israel. Those who know the law now, and I'm saying this because some might not, some things can be worse than a divorce. Right. You see what I'm saying? So can a husband or a wife, this is a specific question, so think about that question. Can a husband or a wife divorce their spouse for having an affair?
The husband, absolutely.
Talk to him about it.
You trying to put me?
Let him get mad at you too now. Let him get mad at you.
The husband can absolutely, according to the law, the Almighty can absolutely divorce his wife for having an affair in the marriage.
Because if we were in the land, what would happen? Would it be a divorce?
It wouldn't even be a divorce. She'd be put to death.
You want to elaborate on that for about 30 seconds? I got a couple more questions here.
The Almighty didn't play that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted our daughters to stay virtuous, and marriage is something that he ordained and that's very holy to him. So when a woman, understand that a woman has a role in the eyes of the Almighty that's totally separate from what the role of a man has. So if a woman was found sleeping around her husband, it's a wrap. And that's in the laws. Those were the laws that govern our society when the black man did have a society.
Now there's a difference between being a whoremonger and adultery.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question here.
Shalom, More Yepta. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Is it adultery if a widow has sex with a married man? Is it adultery if a widow has sex with a married man?
No.
There you go. You're on fire now. You're on fire. Explain it.
No. If a widow has sex with a married man, that is not adultery.
He just, again, being a whoremonger.
He's just being a whoremonger, fame.
But that, I'm not condoning being a whoremonger, though. Right. Let's understand. Yeah. See, a lot of times people don't understand what adultery is. When Kobe Bryant had that affair with that woman that he did, and she was not married, people said that he committed adultery. Mm-hmm. He's been a whoremonger.
That's right.
She was not another man's wife. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that maybe we can continue this.
You on fire. I hate to cut it short, man. You got you got one more question on here. It says, and you got a comment from Leroy Dobbs. We appreciate you. It says, glad to hear such knowledgeable information shared by this brother. Please have him on again.
Hallelujah. And what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to make a second part for this, King, because we just barely getting started. We just barely getting started. And again, I have to say this for any sister that was offended. I am not saying anything by any means to try and offend anyone. I get my information from the Most High and His Word and trying to live that life, you see. So experience has always been the best teacher. That's the reason I can confess and admit that I've made errors too. But I feel so much better once I clean up my act and ask the Almighty to forgive me for my transgressions.
You got one more question on here that because I want to make sure we address the audience.
All right.
It says, how can a woman learn to trust a man after years of heartbreak? What can a man do to show her different? Or do you come in the relationship already healed from trauma?
Well, it's up to every individual to heal themselves. Even men go through things. Matter of fact, let me share something with you guys, and y'all can do a survey on it if you think that this is not the case. And this is not to say that women don't love hard, but check with other male friends that you might have, and you'll find that men love harder than women. Men definitely love harder than women. And see, that's the reason a lot of men, they will stay around in a relationship, especially if they have children, because they want to be there for not only that woman and that child or the children. Yeah. Because we understand our responsibility. And not only that, we know that there's going to be some ups and downs in a relationship. Yeah. We've been taught to use logic. And we've been taught that if we have issues, we need to work those issues out, because being married is supposed to be a lifelong commitment. But when you say, how do you learn to trust an individual? Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you're talking about that same individual or you're talking about someone after that type of situation. I think you're talking about a
woman that's done had bad experiences with previous men that have issues trusting a man now because of her bad experiences.
Well, let me tell you this. I've personally made it a point to make myself an open book for my wife. I don't hide anything to her. Matter of fact, I told my wife I'm going to tell her things that most guys won't tell. In other words, I don't need you to have to want to worry about anything. If I don't have any secrets, then I don't have any secrets. If my phone rings, answer it. I don't mind if you want to go through my phone at any given time. But I just gave an example a little while ago, and I've seen this happen, to where a guy's reaching for something, and his woman grabbed that phone real quick because it was beside the water. Red flag. Red flag. If I'm gone long enough, see, and here's the thing. Here's what we can say. I know everybody, and I'm going to wrap this up. I know everybody don't fear the Almighty Yah. The Almighty said, don't swear by His name falsely. He didn't say don't swear by His name. He said don't swear by His name falsely. So if I want to get the truth, or if somebody want to ask me a question, and I try to avoid this, especially if I know a person is going to lie, because I don't want to put them in harm's way with the Almighty, I'll ask them a question. I'll say, do you swear by Yah that you didn't do this, or whatever the situation is? Do you swear by Yah? Now, Yah said, don't swear by his name falsely. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have a death sentence. So you can ask those certain questions. But if you're talking about learning to trust a person, a different person, again, start having those conversations. Learn to be friends before you get involved in any activities that you shouldn't be involved in anyway until you marry. Try to be friends with that person. I actually believe that a person's spouse should also be their best friend if possible.
Yes, sir.
I believe that. Because when you have a friend, you can talk to them about whatever. And y'all always work that out. That's the reason I say a real friend. A lot of people don't know what a real friend is.
There you go.
You know, from the time that you're in elementary school to say you upward of the age of 30 years old, you can count your real friends, most likely on one hand, and might still have some fingers left over. Because a real friend gonna love you at all times. Right. Like I said, a real friend is not gonna let you do something that's gonna let you get hurt, killed, or put in jail or something. They're not gonna allow that. If Kim and I, if he's my real friend and he hear me saying that I'm getting ready to go, and I'm just using that for an example. Neither one of us ain't like this. I'm getting ready to go out and commit a crime. And then you say, man, let me go get some of that money too. If I'm your real friend, I'm going to say, no, you can't go with me, man. I ain't got no business doing this. Right. You see what I'm saying? No, you can't go. Yeah. So I'm going to look out for you even when you're not wise enough to look out for yourself. That's right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. A real friend, you can have a real friend that you only see maybe once a year, if you see him that much, but you be in contact with him over the phone. You know, you might call somebody up, it'd be 2:30 a.m. and you got a flat tire out on the road someplace and you call that friend up. That real friend gonna say, hey, where you at? Hey, I'm on my way. Mm-hmm. Whereas you might call somebody else, they say, oh man, I'm with my woman right now. That, you know, I mean, can you call somebody else? Like, no, y'all see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
A real friend got you.
That's right.
Because a real friend gonna love you at all times. And a lot of time people think because they got Facebook friends, this, that, and the other. Those ain't your real friends. Those just people you put in your business.
Yeah.
We need to learn what a real friend is, and that's a mutual thing. You see, your friend shouldn't always have to check for you. You check for them as well.
That's right.
You check for them as well. Look, I know you got something that has to be taken care of, and we can go on for hours on this particular topic. And you know, so
we got a lot of good comments on here. This is Maury Yabtak. He said, Shalom Hakol. Interesting topic. Darren Cross said, praise Yahweh. Nice info. We appreciate everybody for everybody's engagement in the chat. And we'll be back again next week.
We'll make a part 2 of this. Might be a part 3, a part 4, or whatever. Absolutely. Because this is serious. And when we get into relationships, we want those relationships to be lasting. And we don't want to get into relationships that's offensive to the Almighty, such as this boyfriend, girlfriend thing. Now, it's good to court somebody to get to know them, but that don't mean you have to take all of the amenities, if you will, to put it that way, in the process of trying to get to know somebody.
Beautiful.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So again, let me say this in closing. Nothing that I said was meant to harm or offend anybody. If I had the choice to offend, well, not that I would even want that choice. If someone was to be offended, I'd rather it be you more so than the Almighty, because I have to speak the truth.
That's right.
But again, my intention is not to offend anybody.
And he is serving the Almighty. That's what we got him on. He gonna fear the Almighty and tell y'all the truth. And also, man, I know you probably ain't gonna say nothing, but my elder here, he does personal training as well, and he's been in that business for how long?
So.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually sitting next to a champion. Y'all don't know this, but this elder is a champion, one of the champions in Israel. And right now, he one of his trades is personal training. But if you ever had the pleasure of really getting to know him and walking to his house, you're gonna see a bunch of trophies everywhere in his house. Trophies, medals, all of that, man. This elder is a champion. But he does run a business, a personal training business. And he actually trained me from a youth. Trained me in boxing.
He was 13 years old. Today you what, 26, 27?
27, yes sir. Yes sir.
Yeah, 13 years old. I still got your records. Yeah. Hey, you got certain people who want it and certain people who don't. It's not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, I tell the faint-hearted people, stay home with the women and children and bake cookies. I can't use them. I do. I tell them that. You know, the person got to be ready when they come to see me. But I'm not here to talk about me. We want to talk about the Almighty's word.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll be back, y'all. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up too, to help grow the channel and get this video exposed out there. We are a Hebrew, this is a Hebrew podcast, but we want to appeal to all audiences, no matter what religion you are or what family you come from, because the message of the Almighty is for everybody, you know. So go ahead and get this video a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to help support the channel. We appreciate everybody, all our Hebrew brothers here out here in Cincinnati and our Hebrew sisters as well, all across. Salute to y'all. Shalom. Any last words?
Thank you for tuning in. And again, I hope somebody got something from what was discussed here today on this podcast. If you have any future questions, just save them for the very next time and we'll get them answered. Y'all willing.
Absolutely. All right. We appreciate y'all. Shalom. We'll see y'all. Be sure to check out True for Tradition tonight at 6:30. And that'll be with Moreh Yashashakar. And we're going to be going over the inaccuracies of the Bible, and more specifically the New Testament. All right. We want our people to be aware that the Bible is actually a book mixed with truth and lies. You got one part of the Bible that's actually the truth and one part that gives you a little bit of truth and a whole lot of lies. All right. So we want to be able to make sure y'all get that information. So be sure to tap into that at 6:30, and that will be with Moreh Yashashakar. We appreciate y'all once again, and shalom. Thank you.
Shalom.
I never stop. Studying script. Reading the Bible. I got my drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. King got a brand new drip. I never stop. Studying script. Reading the Bible. I got my drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. King got a brand new drip.
They thought it was over and now they got better. Spit script like a classic Beretta. Classic like I'm riding a Jetta. Well trained, I done earned me some medals. I see that it's been a minute since my people were really in it. Study lessons like Moses was really living. We was owning the land we was never in. We had really made God and continue sinning. I read the book and I made provisions. Switch up the way I was really living. Grew up with dope in my presence, but now I'm so dope in the lessons, I'm literally lit. Haters be catching the fit, I be breaking it down with the script. Some call it a gift. I go and get it from Nehemiah. I go and get it from Zechariah. I need some fringes on my attire. I don't have a queen who is that fire. Someone is on, it's on. Spiritually we could be growing, I'm already knowing. No calamari on my plate. She eats shrimp that we can't date. Unless she gon' hop on my wave. Yeah, I study a lot till I get his word on lock. Satan got a plot, doing his best to knock us out. Work my move, I gotta work my move. Watch how I spit them jewels.
I never stop. Studying script. Reading the Bible. I got my drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. King got a brand new drip. I never stop. Studying script. Reading the Bible. I got my drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. Brand new drip. King got a brand new drip.
Yeah, linen and turban and genie shoes. I'm from the east, call me Hebrew. Look how my third eye see through you. I got the fire like Goku. A leader like Optimus Prime. Still in my prime. Sipping on wine from divine superior mind. Reading the scripture, sometimes I recline. Sometimes I be feeling I'm really Caleb. More like Elijah, I cut off my dread. Copper and crystal my body up. I should be drinking out royal cups. All of my people got royal blood. Everywhere that we walk, oil under us. Maybe that's why they fill up with so much disgust. They know how the most how he feel about us.
Okay, let go.
I never stop.
I never stop.
Studying script.
I study and screw.
Reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible.
I got my drip.
I got my drip.
Brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Got a brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Drip.
King got a brand new drip.
Got a brand new drip.
I never stop.
I never stop.
Studying script.
I study and screw.
Reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible.
I got my drip.
I got my drip.
Brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Got a brand new drip.
Brand new drip.
Drip.
King got a brand new drip. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Before you learn to drop it down and bust it open, remember you were never this open. Remember you a queen. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Woo. Everybody must respect you, but first gotta respect yourself. I just thought I'd come and share my point of view. Got a few things on my chest, yeah, yeah. Got 5 daughters that I care about. The community, what I care about. Elevation, what I'm all about, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, y'all mean that much to me. Strive to reach our memory. No more penitentiary. I'm talking about mentally. Mentally take this ride with me. Mentally let me set you free. Oh, mentally let me set you free. We hope you consider what I'm talking about. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Before you learn to drop it down and bust it open, remember you were never this open. Remember you a queen. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Woo. They don't love you like I love you for real. They just wanna see you draw dry. They just wanna trick their money for real. Don't let them help you stock drop. Reserve yourself for the real, lest you reveal. Make these men have to come at you real, yeah. Message inside the bottle, I put it in a bottle. All you gotta do is play this song and it open up the bottle. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Remember you a queen. Before you learn to drop it down and bust it open, remember you were never this open. Remember you a queen. Remember you a queen. Yeah. Woo. Y'all can't fathom really what happened to us. No. 400 years these folk been sucking our blood. Yeah. Forced to make our living out of the mud. Yeah. These folks sick, they keep on killing our blood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and we tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. Tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick
sick and tired of this place. Lord, we pray, return back home. It's been hell since we've been here. Lord, we pray, return back home. It's been hell since we've been here. It's been hell since we've been here. It's been hell since we've been here. It's been hell, it's been hell, it's been hell since we've been here. I work them fit down in South Carolina. Go to the store in the John Deere. Dixie flag might be in the store. You know the clan be around here. Kill your ass, hang you from a tree. That's how they do it around here. Definition of a real picnic. It was created around here. Ooh, welcome to the South. Somebody lie on a black man, they might come snatch him out the house. Ooh, white girl, white girl. So many black men die because of white girl, white girls. We ain't been happy for real in a minute. System controlling our mind and our women. Read in the scripture already predicted that children gon' wild that already predicted. God let us enter the other religions. He gave a commandment, but we wouldn't listen. This why we came here to this prison. Y'all can't fathom really what happened to us. 400 years these folk been sucking our blood. Wants to make our living out of the mud. These folks sick, they keep on killing our blood. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and we tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. Tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. We sick and tired of this place. Lord, we pray, return back home. It's been hell since we've been here. Lord, we pray, return back home. It's been hell since we've been here. It's been hell since we've been here. It's been hell since we've been here.